Today I wanted to do something productive. This is the hardest thing to do. You know what? Today I didn't go to work. I stay in my home. I stay, I'm still living with my parents, So okay, I'm back. You know what? 3 months ago I didn't have a job. I didn't have money to buy a cell phone. Now I have a cell phone. But I decided that I want to do something else. Like, I actually have cramps. Menstrual cramp. I was going to say clamps, but that's another thing. You know what? That I decided to do this thing. All the time speaking Spanish. And it's so hard for me to I understand. I wouldn't say almost everything in English, but I understand a lot of things in English. That I want to just do a YouTube channel because I want to share my story. I want to share my life. You know what? I think that I can just tell something important to someone or for everyone in this world. So the thing is that I want to make this thing because maybe I think that my life is it's funny. I'm a funny person. Forget that. You know what? I try everything. At this point of my life, I realized that I am 22. Almost this year, I'm gonna turn 23. And the place in where just working isn't a good place. All the time, you're gonna just, if you're like me, if you're 22, all the time you're gonna be like saying like you want to just like be in or have another job or something like better. You're gonna have this feeling all the time. So forget this thing. You're gonna have this feeling all the time that you can just do something else. You know what? But I think that if you are not doing something like, or you are not at the place in where you want, it's because maybe you need to just prepare something else, like improve your skills, like that. Improving your skills is going to like help you out a lot. So I decided that I'll be like using this, you know what, even if I'm gonna just only like talk, it's just actually a few, maybe I think that eight months ago, my life was a disaster, was a mess. I was just living with my dad and actually everything was like fucked up. Actually, I was with a guy. Actually, this man is, I have a boyfriend. He's my boyfriend. He's so, oh my gosh, I love so much that man. What I mean is that this man, we had a lot of breakups, we broke a lot of times. We were like, just like having problems. I was just going through something like really rough. How do you say this thing? I was so confused. Like, I didn't know about. I was so all the time like I was stressed, where I was so insecure, doing things that I always wanted to do. Like, just going to, have a job, get a job, and I was like scared to be an adult. You know what? If you are like afraid of something, I think that you should like try it. If you want to improve on something and you don't know how to do it, I think that the best way to improve is just doing the things that maybe you don't know how to do it, even from the place in where it's kind of like the basic things, like most basic things like that. I don't know if this thing like it's like the grammar is like, it's great, whatever. I'm speaking. It's just only English. You know what? When I was living with my dad, I was like speaking a lot of English. So now that I'm just like kind of like doing this thing again, it's like it's so hard for me. Like, I don't know if I'm just saying words or I'm just like plugging everything. I wanted to be a psychologist. That didn't work. Actually, I had problems with my dad. I'm still talking to my dad, but the thing is that I was like, the relation with, or this, my parents, my parents, they are divorced. You know what? I'm living with my parents. I say that I'm living with my parents because I'm living with my mom and my stepdad. I spend most of the time with my, you know what, with my mom and with my stepfather. You know what? I've been like so sad or feeling this thing like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I always wanted to play guitar, and sometimes I don't have time to play guitar, and maybe I need to do something else. I don't know, I need to just find something else, like the purpose of life or whatever. I don't know, go figure it. So you've been like trying and starting new things all the time, and you're still like, or you're like me, 20, 19, for example, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20, 24, 25. But if you're in your 20s, I think we're still like, I'm not just saying that we can just act like childish. Like sometimes we're gonna make mistakes, but we're gonna learn from them. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm having a lot of regrets, but learn from them. Sorry, that's the only thing that I wanted to just do. I'm 22. If you're in your 20s, you're not the only one that is making mistakes. Just think about that. Keep that in mind. You're not the only one that is just making mistakes.